somewhere in Arizona. Welcome to Somewhere in Arizona, the show that takes less traveled, occasionally dangerous paths to find inspiring Arizonans who are pursuing their dreams and making a difference in the lives of others. I'm your host, Angela Almanza. You caught me. I was just texting my mother. With technology, it's easier than ever to stay in touch these days. But we met a woman who thinks there's a better way, to say it with feeling. When was the last time you wrote or received a handwritten letter? Cindy Zimmerman is the self-appointed handwritten note advocate. She's so passionate about putting pen to paper that she's become a frequent lecturer, consultant, and columnist on the subject.
I am Cindy Zimmerman, and I'm the self-appointed handwritten note advocate.
Okay, Cindy, when did you decide to become the advocate for handwritten notes?
I have always loved handwritten notes, and in 2005, I decided to become the self-appointed handwritten note advocate because a company wanted me to sell greeting cards. And at the time, I said, you know what, I don't think that you need to have someone selling greeting cards. You need to have someone talking about why and how to handwrite cards. So that's really how I started. How do handwritten notes fit into our society today? They are your standout communication. When you really want to connect, you use a handwritten note. It is a moment in time where someone wrote something to you that can never be duplicated again.
But what if you're like me and don't have the best penmanship in the world?
I get this question a lot too about poor penmanship. People feel very uncomfortable with their penmanship. The first thing I say is be comfortable with your penmanship, because when someone is handwriting a note, it is so special that people don't judge you as harshly as they do in other communications. So embrace your handwriting. There are several things that you can do to improve it. First and foremost, the writing instruments that you use to write a handwritten note are very important. The first thing you can do is your pen makes a huge difference. If you start writing with a fountain pen, that will make unbelievable difference. The paper that you write on makes a huge difference. So those things will all advance your handwriting, your penmanship, whatever you want to call it, tremendously, just by doing those two things. And the other thing you do is you can doodle. You just doodle like this, and your hand gets warmed up. So now my hand's starting to warm up, okay? It's like when you start to play the piano, you start to get into the flow, okay? Then you address the envelope to the person. And you put your stamp, and then you start writing the letter to the person. Now you're already starting to get warmed up and you're in the flow. You put the you put the date, because you want to be able to remember that day that you wrote that letter. And then you do your citation and you begin. So those things help people help them improve their handwriting. I always talk to my audiences about how when you are trying to communicate with someone, try to use all 5 of your senses in communicating, because everybody responds to different stimuli. Some people are visual, some people respond texturally, as I mentioned before. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Writing in Style, my brand, I include rosemary sprigs in my handwritten notes. Rosemary grows abundantly here in Arizona, and it's free. So it's a great brand because it doesn't cost me anything. So I go out and I will cut a sprig with most letters that I send. If I'm here in Arizona, always, but if I'm on the road, it makes it a little more difficult. But I will include a little sprig of rosemary. So then when my letter gets to the person that I've sent it to, I've now appealed to them visually, because they're reading what I'm sending, and I've appealed to them through aroma, because rosemary has this tremendous aroma, and it travels through the post office, through the air beautifully across the country, and my friends on the East Coast get it, and they're like, Cindy, oh my gosh, this smells so good when I open the envelope.
Cindy says even the stamp you use on the envelope is significant. She collects stamps from everywhere and sometimes includes foreign postage on her envelopes, even though they don't count.
I worked for Hospice of the Valley here in Arizona I have, had many people in my own life pass away, and I know for certain when someone passes away, they are not looking through their stuff for a phone. I, again, look at the beauty of this ink and his writing style, and I really want your audience to see how beautiful this is. This does not compare to a text or an email. There's just no way. I will take a note and put it in email format or text format, and someone can visually see it's different. It is not the same thing. So that, even putting it in a nice frame, that accents that tangible energy that I keep talking about and how important handwritten notes are.
I asked Cindy how handwritten notes fit into our high-tech, fast-paced texting and emailing world.
People who handwrite notes are 10 times, I don't even 100 times, a lot more times successful than people that do not have handwritten notes in their communication mix. Do we need emails and text? I say this all the time. Yes, we do. Do we need newsletters? Yes. But if you take the time to handwrite notes to someone, you have shown your customer, your peer, your employee, your boss that you value them and you value their efforts. It is standout communication.
Do you know of an inspiring Arizona story? You can contact us on Facebook. Search for Somewhere in Arizona. Be sure to tune in next time when Somewhere in Arizona goes to a party. A party so big everyone's talking about it coast to coast and border to border. This isn't just any party, it's the Tea Party. And you know what that means? We'll be with people who party like it's 1773. 1773? Oh yeah, that was the year of the Boston Tea Party. This party is in Phoenix, and Somewhere in Arizona got an invitation to come along.
And we have the Tea Party saying, you're doing the right thing. We're coming to Arizona for the convention.
So come along. You'll find out what the Tea Party Patriots are all about and why the Tea Party people are so passionate about their beliefs. The party goes for 3 days, but we'll compress the festivities into one fast-paced, highly informative 30-minute show in which you'll go behind the scenes to meet some of the party planners who are leading the charge for fiscal responsibility, constitutionally limited government, and free markets. Whether you lean to the left or lean to the right, the next episode of Somewhere in Arizona will set things straight on the Tea Party.
And when you see the enthusiasm of these Tea Partiers, that's contagious.
Next time on Somewhere in Arizona, you'll see a knockout at the gym when I step into the ring with the 4-time world boxing champion. Who plans these shows?